For months, the narrative around the war in Ukraine was one of grinding stalemate, endless trench warfare, drone skirmishes, and a brutal war of attrition that many believed would simply drag on forever or end with Ukraine forced to cede territory. But something fundamental has shifted. Headlines are now proclaiming that Russia isn't just not winning, it's actively losing. What changed? How did a war perceived as perpetual gridlock suddenly swing towards the possibility of a Russian collapse? To understand this, we need to rewind to February 2022. Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine was a catastrophic miscalculation, igniting the largest and deadliest conflict in Europe since World War II. Despite initial Russian advances, Ukraine's fierce resistance, bolstered by Western aid, quickly halted the blitzkrieg. But after a year or so, the front lines largely solidified. Russia still occupies roughly 20% of Ukrainian territory, millions have been displaced, and the human cost is immeasurable. The question wasn't if Ukraine would lose, but how it could possibly win against a larger, better equipped aggressor. Many experts, both casual and professional, held on to the belief that if an army were to collapse, it would surely be Ukraine's. This is where the narrative pivots. Ukraine's strategy isn't about traditional grand sweeping offensives like those seen in late 2022. Instead, it's a far more insidious yet potent approach, breaking the Russian army's back by systematically attacking its logistics, its manpower, and crucially, its will to fight. And the primary tool enabling this shift is a quiet revolution in military technology driven by Ukraine's own vibrant tech sector. Imagine a nondescript van parked discreetly behind trees in the Ukrainian countryside, miles from the front. Inside, two soldiers monitor screens watching a bird's eye view of terrain over 100 miles away. Their job: distinguish birds and bats from lethal Russian drones. When a threat is identified, the second soldier directs an interceptor, a small drone resembling a miniature rocket ship, to track and destroy the incoming aerial vehicles before they hit their targets. This isn't a video game. It's a mobile drone interceptor base, one of hundreds scattered across Ukraine. These AI-powered interceptors are just one facet of a complicated network of radar systems, acoustic sensors, and other advanced tools. What's remarkable is that hundreds of large and small Ukrainian tech companies, many of which didn't exist 4 years ago, are creating and constantly updating these systems. They leverage real-time data directly from soldiers on the front lines. Ukraine's tech-literate civil society has mobilized with professionals from financial services, architecture, and politics, pivoting to defense tech, driven by a deep commitment to defend their country. This continuous feedback loop and rapid innovation cycle are unprecedented in modern warfare. This technological superiority isn't limited to defense. Ukraine's long-range drones are hitting targets deep behind enemy lines, disrupting supply chains and command centers. Sea drones, also developed domestically, have targeted the Russian Black Sea Fleet, pushing it back and impacting naval operations. This decentralization of advanced weaponry, combined with agile development, has given Ukraine a critical asymmetric advantage, allowing them to erode Russia's material and psychological strength. As Hemingway famously observed about bankruptcy, things go gradually and then suddenly. The same can be said of armies. Russia's military, initially perceived as formidable, has been gradually eroding. Now it appears to be reaching that tipping point Where the illusion of strength shatters, Ukraine's drone attacks and long range precision strikes have systematically degraded Russian logistics. Fuel, ammunition, and supplies struggle to reach the front lines, starving their forces. But beyond physical disruption, Russia faces a profound communications crisis. The Kremlin's crackdown on independent information, combined with issues like Starlink being cut off in some areas, has led to fragmented command and control and a growing disconnect between the front and Moscow. The human cost for Russia is staggering. Constant attrition, combined with a lack of compelling reasons for conscripts to fight, has severely impacted morale. Economic despair is mounting within Russia, with official admissions that the country has had enough of the war. When an army loses its will to fight, its ability to function collapses regardless of equipment. The narrative has flipped. Ukraine is no longer seen as merely holding on. It's actively pushing Russia towards a breaking point. This isn't about one grand offensive, but a continuous systemic dismantling of Russia's ability to wage war, primarily through technological ingenuity and unwavering national resolve. The sudden part of the collapse might still be future, but the gradual erosion is undeniable. What we are witnessing in Ukraine is a masterclass in modern asymmetric warfare. A smaller nation, armed with innovation, adaptability, and an unshakable will, is systematically dismantling the conventional might of a larger aggressor. This war is not just a geopolitical struggle, it's a proving ground for new military doctrines where AI, drones, and agile tech development are rewriting the rules of engagement. The implications extend far beyond Ukraine, offering crucial lessons for defense strategies worldwide. The question is no longer, will Ukraine lose, but rather, how quickly will Russia unravel? The answer increasingly points towards a new chapter in military history, one where ingenuity trumps brute force,